The memory of that day when it snowed heavily was the last day of 1988. Was it because that day was filled with the excitement of countless people gathering at Times Square to see out the old year and welcome the new? The swirling confetti falling with the snow, buried beneath confetti symbolizing farewells and new beginnings, the memory of my first kiss seemed to sink into oblivion as 1989 arrived. Yet days later, I realized that memory could never truly vanish. The kiss given to me by someone 10 years my senior, though it was a kiss on the cheek, and I thought it was just a gesture like the greetings often exchanged during holidays. But thinking back on the carefulness of her lips, the slight hesitation in her touch, and the look she gave me, I deeply felt that no matter how much of a young boy I was at 16, its meaning couldn't be taken lightly. Of course, that incident with Holly was something I could have bragged about to my friends at school, like any typical teenager would. But I kept it deeply buried within my heart. Even during the next 3 years of high school, when I heard about my friends' first kiss experiences, I listened without any particular excitement. I just listened. Amidst that time, I met Jeanhe, and because I devoted my whole heart to her, the incident with Holly seemed to fade away. That thing back then, it was just a greeting, I told myself, and it slowly disappeared, pushed aside by other memories in my life. I promised my uncle and Holly I'd visit often, but I didn't make it to my uncle's gallery until after high school graduation, before starting college. High school life in America was so fascinating, allowing me to enjoy everything I wanted, that Manhattan, over 2 hours away, felt as distant as another country. However, during holidays when relatives gathered, I heard updates about Holly through my uncle. She had already graduated from art school and was still working at his gallery, but I learned she was seeking a position at a major museum. But that was all. College life kept me busier than ever, and I was finally able to visit my uncle's store, first time in nearly 10 years. One autumn evening in 1996, on my way home to New Jersey after work, I decided to stop by my great-uncle's shop, or the pen gallery, my uncle used to call it. It was late, around 8 p.m., so I parked right in front of the shop and peered inside from my car. Holly was probably working at some other fancy art museum or gallery, so I didn't expect to see her. There was one customer inside, and my uncle was serving them. I waited until he finished wrapping something, and the customer left before going inside. "Uncle, I'm here." "Ah, hey, look who's here, coming all the way up here while working busy at the bank. Come and sit. I finished early today, so I stopped by to see you on my way home." "How nice. I thought I'd only see you during the Thanksgiving holiday." Looking pleased, my uncle brought me a drink. After chatting about this and that, we closed the shop together. Then my uncle and I got in the car and headed south again. My uncle had arranged to meet friends in Koreatown, so I offered to drive him there. "You're working alone, Uncle. You should hire someone. Running the shop by yourself can't be easy." "I've been meaning to. Since Holly quit, I haven't been able to find anyone as good." "Which museum did Holly end up working at? She really wanted the Guggenheim." My uncle didn't answer my question. Glancing at his face briefly while driving, I saw a shadowed expression already settled there. My gut instinct made me think, did something happen to Holly? She's been hospitalized, cancer. It's been over 3 months since she was admitted." Ah, I think that day was probably the first time I ever experienced my vision suddenly darkening like that. "Oh, really? What can we do?" I tried hard to hide my feelings, but I couldn't help my voice trembling. "She talked about you a lot after you quit. She worried a lot about whether you, being so emotionally sensitive, would adapt well to America," according to her. My uncle gave me a rough outline of what happened after I quit the shop at the end of 1988. How difficult it was for her to get that museum job she wanted so badly. How her boyfriend left her after 5 years of dating. How her mother passed away from cancer, and all her other big and small troubles. So it seems she hadn't found a better job and was still working at the gallery. Ah, why had I been so indifferent despite all this? A feeling like something was squeezing my heart came over me. The depth of her sorrow squeezed me too. but my mind became chaotic with guilt, regret, and a strange, nameless mix of resentment and anger directed at no one in particular. For a while, neither my uncle nor I spoke as we drove down Lexington Avenue. I pulled the car over at the corner of 32nd Street and 5th Avenue and let my uncle out. After getting out, he told me through the passenger window which hospital she was in. It was New York University Hospital, not far from there. I looked at my watch. It was 9:30 p.m. It was a difficult time for visiting, but I drove the car there,